We're back, Marvel Stadium, taking on North Melbourne. Let's get into it. Before we jump into it, of course, you know the drill. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 8,000 subs. I want to get to 10,000 by the end of the season or even the end of the year. It's just been one of my goals since I started the channel. I'm like, man, wouldn't 10,000 be sick? Mind you, I had one subscriber, and I think that subscriber was Nunno, who still watches my videos all the time. So Nunno, if you're watching, and Nunna as well. Shout outs. I love you guys. But yeah, 10,000 would be absolutely huge. Let's get to 8,000 first. Hit that 10,000 goal soon. And if you're already subscribed, you know what? I love you all so much. Let's get into talking about this game. So we're back at Marvel for the second time in 3 weeks. Right before the bye, we take on North Melbourne. Going into this game, or going into these 3 patches of games, which was the Doggies, Melbourne, and North Melbourne, I said one of 3 would be a good opportunity. Like if we won one of 3, we've won that one against Melbourne, and now we get the opportunity to go 2 and 3. It really should have been 3 of 3. We shouldn't have lost to the Doggies, but it is what it is. We have an opportunity to go second on the ladder with a big win against Norf. But you know, obviously with the buys and stuff, it skews the ladder a little bit. But it's a huge opportunity to go into the bye with a full head of steam. And you know, welcome back our players in the second half of the season. This is it's one of those games. You know it as a Collingwood supporter that North Melbourne, or not even just North Melbourne, any team that's going poorly, it's quote unquote a danger game for us. So I'm talking North Melbourne, West Coast. You know, there were at times St Kilda as well. Any team that's sort of been down the bottom, not St Kilda this year, but St Kilda of previous years, Carlton of previous years. So any team that, yeah, that's Hawthorn, that been down the bottom, you go, okay, well, looks like we're going to sort of get that loss. And I know a couple of Collingwood supporters, and I think I've said this year as well, where you say as sort of like a joke, you go, oh, well, looks like the Kangaroos will get their first win against for the season against Collingwood, because we typically, in the past, we would play to the standard that the other team sets. So like last season, like we beat them by what, 35 points last year, and that's just, and you probably remember that game. They were sort of coming about, and that 35 points was just because we sort of ran away with it, and North still didn't have a lot going on for them. So that game, we should have put them to bed multiple stages, right? And this game has got to be the same. I feel like after going to West Coast and beating them, North, and getting their first win of the season, North are going to want to come out and smash the reigning premiers. And I think, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game than we thought. Not closer as in we're going to only win by 5 points. I think closer as in they will give us a run for our money right at the start of the game, and then they'll just sort of drop off. Is what I'm sort of thinking. If we play anything like we did against Melbourne, this shouldn't be less than a 70-point win. But you know how football is, and you know how the footy gods are, and this is the one that makes you go, oh, goddamn, we get North Melbourne before our bye. That's what this game kind of feels like. So the thing I love about this club now is that's just what I just said in the first, 3.5 minutes of this video, is just the old Collingwood supporter coming out of me, and that's how we used to be. Under Fly, we're not like that anymore, right? We are not that team anymore. We know what we're going to do. We don't go into games thinking, oh, we're going to win this because we're going to win this because they're the bottom of the ladder. We just have to win. It just doesn't happen like that anymore for Collingwood at least, and especially under Fly. And this team that we've got at the moment can absolutely do anything. Like, look how they dismantled Melbourne. Pressure was up, tackling was up. They just absolutely, just any sort of aspect of the game that Melbourne thought they were going to be good at, they weren't good at. Ground ball gets, we smashed them in clearance. They won the hitouts and we smashed them in clearances. Efficiency inside 50, just going inside 50. Every aspect we did super well in. And I think if we can even show 75% of what we brought against Melbourne to North Melbourne, we should be able to obliterate them. This North Melbourne game, though, had you had spoken to me about it 6 weeks ago, I would have said, let's rest Nick Dacos, let's rest Pendlebury, let's rest Mitchell, sort of these older sort of players, and maybe Nick Dacos, But it would have been a good game to rest players. You can't do that anymore, right? I think we go unchanged, absolutely unchanged. There's no one coming back from injury at this stage, no one, and there's no one going out injured. Do they rest? The big contention is, do they rest Nick Dacos, given he's got a bit of a corky on his shin, and they subbed him off? I don't think so. We know what Nick is like. He's going to want to play this game, and he's going to want to get 40 and 3 goals or something crazy like that. So I think Nick plays this game because he's not just going to miss out. He's 21, He's not going to want to miss out because he's got a little bit of a corky. Everyone gets sort of these corkies. They'll play through it. It was good that they took him off and rested him at 3/4 time or whenever whenever he came off. I think it was at the start of the 4th quarter. I thought, okay, that's good. We didn't need him to win, and we didn't need him to win for the whole entire game. Like, he played well, but it goes to show that we can win without Nick as well if he is copying that sort of hard tag. So that was a coming of age moment for the team as well. But I think Nick plays against North, and I think he has an absolute huge game. They don't really have any hard tags to go with him, and we see Nick back to his best because Neil Bullen did a fantastic job, but not every team is going to tag Nick as hard as they did last week. The one thing I want to see out of this game is, one, has to be a 4-quarter performance. We have to see 4 quarters of this game. Otherwise, we'll just be cooked, right? We need to start strong and finish strong. And we need to put a big score on the board. I know there's a couple of players that have sort of lowered their colours a little bit. Like, I want to see a big game from Bobby Hill. I want to see a big game from Lockie Schultz. Nathan Kruger, what a revelation. He's played 1 game this season. What a revelation he's been. And I'm going to make a video a bit later in the week talking about what our forward line might look like with everyone else sort of coming up. But Kruger has been a revelation. I dare say he probably kicks 3 or 4 goals against the Roos. And I think this might be the game where, Bobby Hill shakes off his cobwebs. Like I said, Lockie Schultz shakes off his cobwebs. And we actually go in and put a team to the sword for the first time in a long time. This game is going to be the perfect tune-up before the bye and before we start getting really into it. Now, I know the second half of the season, and we'll talk about it, during the bye, apparently we have the hardest run, or one of the hardest runs. So this is going to be perfect. We need to start getting percentage. Our percentage is about 108. We don't have those draw points to sort of help us anymore because we've had 2 draws, so that equates to 1 win. So you get 2 points, obviously, and we got 2 and 2, so it's 4. So we don't have that sort of help us. So we need our percentage now because there are other teams around us, and it's going to be a close top 4. It's going to be a close, even top 8. So any percentage will help us. So we need to come out and we need to put North to the sword. Any fight they have, or any fire they have, we need to extinguish it straight away. We need to become absolute firefighters on Sunday Arvo. My big calls and predictions, I'm going to go out on a limb here and put it into the ether, and I feel pretty confident that we're going to win by over 50 points. If we don't win by over 50 points and we still win, obviously that's fine. I think that isn't what we sort of should be doing. We should be putting, especially North Melbourne, we should be putting, them away by 60-something points, like what we did to West Coast at Marvel as well. So I think North Melbourne, we should be winning by over 50 points. My big call, he's burnt me so many times, Bobby, because I've said he's a big call a couple of times, but I fully believe that this is the game where he lets loose, and I've got Bobby Hill kicking. This is a really big call. I got Bobby Hill kicking 4 goals against North Melbourne. No one's going to be able to go with him, and Bobby Hill is going to smash them. I can tell you right now, got a good feeling that Bobby Hill is going to smash the Kangaroos. Anyway, guys, that's just been a quick thoughts, quick preview of the game. It is a bit of a weird one. It's a Sunday graveyard shift. So get there. I know Marvel. I know you guys don't like Marvel. Actually don't mind it. It's got really good food. So I'll see you there. Swooping Around is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think we're going to win? How much do you think we're going to win by? What are your big calls and predictions? Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later. Go!